What does it truly mean to serve? Is leadership about power or about responsibility? Welcome to Your Stewardship, a compelling new radio program that shines the spotlight on individuals in positions of service and the impact they've made or are still making on the people they serve. From public officials to community leaders, from the health sector to education and beyond, we ask the tough questions. Have they been accountable? Have they delivered? Have they truly served? This is more than just a conversation. It is a moment of reflection, transparency, and truth. Join us as we explore real stories, real challenges, and real outcomes, because stewardship is not just a title, it's a duty. Your stewardship, service, accountability, and impact.
Every position of power is a debt owed to the people. The question is not just who sits on the throne, but how they were able to steward the trust placed in their hands. Welcome to Your Stewardship, the program where we do not worship leader, nor do we casually condemn them. We audit the ledger of influence. Today, we look beyond the titles, the accolades, to ask the hard questions. When you hold the pen of policy or the voice of generation, did you win? Our guest today is a man who has won many hearts. The disciplined educationist, the cerebral civil servant, the custodian of progressive ideology, and the literary voice of a nation. He is Pa Basharun Sende Arubofa, respected author, elder statesman, and former Secretary General of Afenifere. From the classroom to the corridors of power, from writing books to shaping the socio-political consciousness of the Yoruba nation. We are here to examine his stewardship. Pa Arubofa, welcome to the program.
Thank you. But I'm frightened by the word pa. Because we have only one pa in the state and in Afenifere. And that is Pa Fashoranti.
Oh, okay.
And the gap is very, very long.
It's very long. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. But you're a pa doesn't mean you're old or you're getting to the other side. So you still have so many years to spend with them. But pa is a sign of respect. Just
Thank you.
like we refer to elders as sign of respect. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. When you sit quietly, and reflect, not as a public figure now, who is Sende Arubofa? What are those things that shaped your upbringing as a man?
You want me to write a book?
Oh, okay. I know it's a lot, but I know we can also take it as little as we can.
And break things down. Yes, I grew up in a very hard way. Some 87 years ago, when things were not as rosy as we have now. When education was not as attractive as we have now. When most of our towns were rural, when we had just a few towns in the country, when to access health facilities in the Western form was a rarity. When people are still backward. Superstitions. Accessibility to life, not there. No good roads. Only few secondary schools in the country. In fact, by the time we left primary school, the idea of a secondary school did not click, because that was like a fairy tale. The only one we used to hear about them was in my hometown was Victory College in a place called Ikare. And Oka to Ikare was just a distance of how many miles then? Less than 10 miles. But we were hearing of Victory College like as if it was a fairy tale. So it was a trying time, but we thank God. It's been a long way, and here we are today. From there, in my hometown, to Victory College, Ikare. Not as a student, really, to start with, but as a vendor. As a vendor to one of the lieutenants of that great man, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. One of his lieutenants, no, one of his colleagues, Papa Olusa, who was a minister in his government. A very refined gentleman, from whom I cut my half-any teeth unconsciously. Wow. Because what does a boy of 14 years old know about philosophy? Nothing.
Nothing.
Mine was just to sell my papers and live my life. But this man was fantastic. Those of us living with him, we inhaled the spirit of Afenifere from his behavior. And from there, I gained admission to Victory College, Ikare, a year after. And at the end of the first year, in 1955, had a double promotion, which was something very unusual then. That was how I became the classmate of my dear friend, late Gani Fawemi, of blessed memory. And people like General Gluju and a host of others. So, by the grace of God, I spent 4 years in Victory College to have my Cambridge certificate. And thereafter, at the end of my secondary school education, my principal then, late Reverend Canon G.F. Akinrele, asked me to stay behind and teach the junior ones. Apparently, it was not an easy thing because I read on credit. The later generations are lucky with Papa Awolowo making things free. I read on credit as a student in Victory College because it was after I finished my education when Papa Olusa, my father, stood shorty for me And I had to stay behind. I was asked to stay behind in Victory College to continue, to teach, and also pay back. But somewhere down the line, the authorities of a younger school in my town, the African Shore Grammar School, came to solicit my assistance. That was school leaver to come to Macedonia and help in the new school. That was how I left Victory College, came to AC Grammar School, Oka. And within 2 years, paid off what I was owing and gained an admission to University College Ibadan. In fact, I had two. One to University College Ibadan, the other to Nsukka, because we could do it that way then. Eventually, I opted for University College Ibadan, where I made up my mind that I was going to be a political agitator because of things happening around. My intention was to get to the university, allow the university to pass through me, and me passing through the university, and making sure that people knew that, yes, somebody was there, which really happened. In the university, I was a member of the Students' Representative Council at contested elections. I had to decide which of the other clubs will be useful to me in future. And I picked the dancing club, where we were taught how to dance, classical dances. Classical dances were the in thing then. The mark of a gentleman. Wow. And I didn't miss any of my years in the university. I spent 3 academic years in the university.
They were eventful.
Very, very eventful. And I really enjoyed myself. Look, then, being a graduate was a big thing. We were living like, and even the host in our house, we were living like people living in the 5-star hotels now. We were properly taken care of, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so you began as an educationist, and later you moved into the civil service, and then that fiery arena of politics. Which version of Basharun Sende Arubofa is the most authentic? Is it the
most
teacher authentic?
Okay.
Is it the teacher, the bureaucrat, or the activist?
I combine a lot of things in my life. But what I normally do is to know what time to devote to what. As an activist, yes, I was there. As an educationist, yes, I was there. As the defender of the people, yes, I was there. As a politician, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because then our activism was our politics. Unlike now, when politics is already having the tag of things you despise because of the way some people are playing it. During the time of Papa Wulo or Papa Jashi, you would enjoy politics. You would. Issues were contested for. Issues were raised. And things like that. But nowadays, I don't know.
I'm also aware that you are a writer. Your books span social, political, and educational themes. What singular event, or failure in Nigeria's history pushed you from simply observing society to writing extensively about it?
Not a single thing, though. And there are many. I've written very many plays. I started by writing plays to portray the society, to satirize the society, to make the society better. I started on that note. Making sure that life is better for the common man. Casting aspersion on immorality, on corruption, on the decay in the society. All these are in some of my place. Is it entrapped? We're getting entrapped. Agidi Sawas, which is, when we talk of Agidi Sawas, it's a title from an incident in Victory College. In Agidi Sawas, it's on the matter of discipline everywhere. Looking at discipline at home, in the society, in the school, in government, in the Church of God, and everywhere. So these things are there. And try to find a solution. The corruption in the society really taxed me. The topic, how to handle it. It's a kind of, it runs through most of my plays. And especially in Agidi Sawas, where everybody is brought to book. Even what was happening there, that was around 1983, terrible things. Where, for example, the governmenters at that time could have 4 or 5 ministers attached to one ministry, and we'll give them some funny names. Take, for example, Minister for Agric. They will have somebody, Minister for Agric, another Minister about Agric, another Minister for Agric, another Minister for in the Minister, so many funny names. And they started destroying our economy. No wonder the 1983 coup d'etat. Well, in later years, I stopped writing plays, drama, to come more directly, speak more directly to Nigerians about the happenings in society. And through Professor Samaluku, I got out my first book, which was a compendium of lectures I delivered in post-secondary institutions, the universities, colleges of education, public, and so on and so forth. That one dealt more on education, development, and many others. Then the second, that was more biting. And the forward was written by Professor Mimiko. More biting, talking about corruption in society, how education could be better, forms of government, things in our secondary, the universities like inaugural lectures not being used properly by governments and other agencies. Looking at other institutions like the shifters institutions in the economy and other things like that. And the third in the series, really more biting. The path we refuse to take. The path Nigeria refused to take. Which has landed us into this mess.
The path of truth.
So, I was lucky not to have been arrested in any case. But the truth was said. And lately, going to some other areas that, maturity and things like that for other people. Yes, to like the psychology of growing old. A guide for both young and old. My own story I called To the Stars Through Bows and Arrows, where people could learn a lot. And my last publication, Understanding Afenifere.
Understanding Afenifere.
Yes.
That's where we'll take it from after this timeout. Please do stay with us.
What does it truly mean to serve? Is leadership about power or about responsibility? Welcome to Your Stewardship, a compelling radio program that shines the spotlight on individuals in positions of service and the impact they've made or are still making on the people they serve.
Alright, in case you've just tuned in, this is Your Stewardship on Orange 94.5 FM, and today we have a very important guest, a man who has traversed through education as a civil servant and eventually politics, and he's relaxing now. I'm sure he's going to tell us more about what he's doing now away from all of this time. And I'm talking about no other person than Bashorun Sende Arubofa. He says, if I say pa, I know he's scared. Welcome back. Before we took that break, you talked about the fact, the politics, your last book, and how you fared. Especially, you mentioned Afenifere. People see the title, Secretary General of Afenifere, but they don't see the personal cost. What did you personally lose by standing up for a principle you believed in?
I didn't lose anything.
Okay.
Rather, I was more inspired. Fighting a just cause. Fighting for what I believed in. I'm not scared. I can do all these things again if I have the opportunity. Look, I belong to 3 philosophies in life. And these 3 philosophies are humanitarian in nature. The first one was the one into which I was born. I didn't know anything about it. My parents brought me into it. That is Christianity. And when I grew up in Christianity, to know more about the activities of our Lord Jesus Christ, I had to thank God and my parents. Then the other philosophy, which I joined when I was already on top of my job, profession, that is Rotary International. And I founded very many clubs. I rose up to become a Paul Harris Fellow. Here again, you have a philosophy very also close to Christianity. Doing good, giving out of what you have. In the case of Afenifere, I've mentioned, I imbibed the spirit of Afenifere unconsciously at an impressionistic age. And I'm grateful that I had that opportunity. So the three combined have made me in life.
Okay, and as a Secretary General, you were the engine room of a group that preaches federalism, social justice, and true democracy. Looking back, will you say Afenifere under your watch moved the needle on these issues, or did the group become a mere reactionary echo chamber?
Afenifere, during my time, was the voice of the nation. Whatever we did then in Afenifere was something to the nation. The governments were waiting for the outcome of our meetings, for our resolutions, decisions to government, criticism about the government, positive, and the way to go. It was the voice of the nation. Presidents were always ready to hear what you have to say. Governors were always very ready to listen because of what we were. We had the people. These are people with conscience, people who love this country, people who are satisfied with the little they had, people who are ready to lay their lives to save this country, beginning from Papa Wolowo to Papa Jashi, to Akpamaku himself, State Abraham Adesanya, and of course our gentleman, Chief Ruben Fasharoti, with whom for over a decade I served as the Secretary General of Afenifere.
Will you still say that is what Afenifere is now? Because we know that Afenifere as a group has had its fair share of crisis. In fact, there was a time when
what organization doesn't have crisis? The crisis we have had have made us better. We've stood firm, and those who know worth have always referred to us. Yes, divisions, but even in the divisions, those who divide themselves from us still look up towards us and to assist you. We have the ARG, the Afenifere Renewal Group. They are part of us. Yoruba Unity Forum. They broke away from us. Yoruba Council of Elders. They are part of us. But let me tell you, only Afenifere. They don't, even those, the little problems we are hearing, family problems, maybe the last one, when Papa, may God rest his soul, Papa Adebanjo, maybe that one. That was a minor thing. We are resolving it. Even when he was alive. What?
You're still resolving, or you've resolved?
When there's a crisis, you need time to manage the crisis.
Okay.
But we still have little things to cross the T's to dot I's. So don't be disturbed about that. Okay. Afenifere is alive, is kicking, fine and well.
So as a statesman, give us a specific example of a violent or political crisis you resolved by stepping in. What did you do physically?
Of course, yes. During the time of Jonathan, we intervened before we could have the confab of 2014. Yes, before then, we had a crisis in the state. Between the governor and his deputy, 1983 crisis. Through the grace of God, that was resolved. The truth came out eventually. And I know you would like me to say something about the one that happened recently in the state. Yes, I have no regret about anything I did or about anything Afenifere did. We have to realize that today, by the grace of God, only two of us who spearheaded the creation of Ondo State are still alive. Papa Fashionroti, and by the grace of God myself, who was the publicity secretary. We had our objectives then when we were fighting for the state. The economic survival of the province was paramount. Security was also paramount. And me, for example, I had to fight myself to see, suppose anything happens, anything can happen to anybody. We saw the way things were moving between the governor and his deputy. I felt that was not the best for the state. And it might be a repeat of 1983 if we didn't do something. That was why we came in. I sent a powerful memo. Papa Fashionroti also came out, even in his old age, to see how we could stop the state from collapsing. And we thank God. So yes, anytime anything is going wrong, we speak again. Oh yes, we will.
You will speak again. Some people outside the Southwest view Afenifere as a parochial group. How do you respond to the accusation that your stewardship of Yoruba interests indirectly marginalized other ethnicities in the region you influenced?
You see, the point is this. Let people go and read this book, Understanding Afenifere. In fact, the last chapter answers what I've said. You see, the people don't appreciate what they have. And such a thing disappears. Of the three major social political organizations in the country, Afenifere is the oldest. Afenifere was a name. No, you could look at it from three angles. But initially it was used to mean action group, to set the party then. Later, it got the connotation of a social phenomenon. Social phenomenon in the sense that for your good, for my good, and things like that. Afenifere was founded well over 75 years ago. It was after 25 years of its existence that the Igbo said, we too should have our social political organization. And Professor Nwabezi and the others said, okay, look at the wonders Afenifere is performing for the Southwest. Let us have our own Ohanize.
Indeed,
25 years after that, 50 years after the existence of Afenifere. In fact, Gowon and one former Inspector General and a few others also said, what are we doing in the North? Look at the South, look at the Igbos. And they came out with the idea of Arewa. Arewa itself, the meaning is North, which means Arewa from Abinishu means belonging to the North. So what are people saying? These three organizations have to exist. If you allow Afenifere to fizzle or die away, we have to cover our faces in shame. to grow another organization that will be as strong as Afenifere. Never mind ARG, where's this? I'm a Yoruba man. I know what we do in Yoruba society. Before we can have another organization that will rise up to that standard. You don't build an organization in a day. You don't.
It takes time.
It takes time. Afenifere has grown, has had its bouts of problems. It's still strong. No organization is perfect, but to destroy it, it's like destroying the Yoruba culture.
Okay, let's move away from this to the education
You mean
sector.
social politics?
Social politics now. To the education sector. You spent decades in the education sector. Some critics have adjudged Nigeria's educational system that is crony now as being currently under intensive care.
That what?
That Nigeria's educational system is under intensive care.
Okay.
Millions of out-of-school children are still out there. Policy somersault. So many things are going wrong in the education system. As a seasoned educationist, where do you accept personal or collective failure for this decline?
I don't accept any blame. When we were there, we did the best we could. We gave our best to our students. Like I mentioned earlier on, even as a school leaver, I had a call to come to Macedonia and assist. And today, in fact, as president of Nigerian Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools, some 30 or 40 years ago, in Akwa Ibom, when I was there to inaugurate the state branch of ANCOPS, there was an incident. The NUT chairman for the state referred to teachers as the dregs in the society. And where I sat, I was boiling with rage. But I knew where to catch him, because I was still going to talk. I was seated between the governor of Akwa Ibom, then Konabi, by my right, and then the VC of University of Uyo. I was sandwiched between the two of them. I was to speak second to the last. After the VC had spoken, it was my turn. But I'd always warned my colleagues that, look, the Yoruba saying, Irinisi ni Sonilojo. Behave yourselves, give the profession a good name, dress properly. When you are going for any meeting, dress in an executive manner to bring respect not only to yourself but to the profession. So I left Akure with a special adire, as at that time a rarity in the country. A rarity. The cloth was given to me as a present by a handicapped, the one in the stadium. They gave it to me. So when it was my turn to speak in that regalia, first, one of the first in the country, I rose up with my height. There was an acknowledgement. And the first thing I did was to look down where the NUT man was sitting. And I said, Mr. Governor, I don't belong to the group of teachers painted by that man. That was an ovation. And I said, I'm proud of myself and I'm proud of my profession. Governor Abbey was wondering, what next? And I said, Mr. Governor, sir, through the grace of God, I've got the opportunity of bringing out some of the best in this country. And he said, mention it. Is it in the teaching profession? I mentioned a lot of professors I brought up. Is it in law? I mentioned a lot. Is it in medicine? I mentioned it. And finally I said, Mr. Governor, and in the military, I've brought up some top military brass. You know, you had to break protocol. I had to break the protocol later to engage for about 10 minutes. I said, who are you? Blah, blah. Then he said, are you the senior brother of one Major Arubo? And I said, yes, I brought him up. I said, no wonder.
No wonder they comment.
So, you have to be proud of your profession now. I was proud of my profession. And I did the best for it.
Maybe say, if you don't blow your trumpet, no one will blow it for you.
You've mentioned one of my books. I've written almost 30 books. I got that opportunity because of my background. How many have got that opportunity? Secretary General of Afenifere. It's not easy.
Not at
all. Managing these top people from different parts of the state.
It's not easy.
Hi. Top people.
Igbo we say, Oderam easy.
So, it's not easy. I thank God for everything.
Thank God. All right, let's look at the legacy scorecard. When Pa Arugbafa passes on, which will be, so you don't get scared again, many years to come, there will be two headlines. One will be about your brilliant mind, and the other will be on your unfulfilled potential. What do you need to do today to ensure the second headline is never written?
Look, my sister, even when I lost my wife about 3 years ago, even when she was alive, I will occasionally call her, we will sit down, and my daughter is around. The three of us will sit down here, right here. That will be moments for us to reflect. And I will start by saying that, my dear, you're my daughter, that I have thanked God I'm fulfilled. That anything can happen, but that I'm fulfilled. I'm fulfilled. And I thank God for this. What I ask from God, He has been doing. And one of such is my writings. I'm fulfilled. Other things, I leave to the Almighty. I've been doing the best I can. And I have no regrets.
Earlier on, you mentioned why you gave us the story of when you were sandwiched between the governor and the other
VC.
The VC, and you said, I've trained many.
Of course, yes.
And I quite agree with you that you have groomed many. But are you proud of the leaders you have helped bring to power? If one of your mentees is currently failing the people, does the failure transfer back to your stewardship?
No. You see, in the shaping of a character, there are so many things. You see, you can assist somebody to get a job. You can't do the job for the person. We train them, we show them the light. Most of them do the right thing. Those who refuse to do, it's the headache, it's the palaver. Everybody will reap whatever he has sown.
Okay, name one of the problems in Nigeria, especially in the Southwest today, that you had the power to solve 20 years ago, but you failed to do. Why should history forgive that failure?
I will throw the question back to you younger ones. We told you the way, we told you the right thing, but you refuse. We are always on the fast lane. Young people, always on the fast lane, always on the fast lane. Quick things. Look, go and read Understanding Afenifere. Go and read Papa's Fashion's book. You see, we are not saying young people shouldn't aspire. You have to aspire. But don't think that you can do everything overnight. Some time to mellow, to grow, and things like that. But most of you, the fast lane, rat race, I pray we don't have too many crashes. When you get yourself involved in rat races, there are bound to be crashes.
Rat race, young people, and they really need to be spoken to, because we know what the young minds are doing now. We have a lot of cases of banditry, kidnapping. Let's talk
pen
about
robbery.
Pen robbery. Oh, pen robbery as well. and the fraudsters, the one they call Yahoo. Let's talk a little about the security of this country, what we are seeing now. If you are in the position to give advice to the president today, what advice will you give him to change the security situation of this country?
I will start by advising Nigerians, not the president. Not the president. Is it the president who will act as information officers to bandits? Is it the president who will hoard whatever is given to make things better for the people? Is it the president that will not allow us to have state police after I said it? We are more to blame in what is happening in this country. But if I were to advise our governments, especially in the Southwest, until we get the state police thing, they should strengthen Amotekun. They should give us drones to monitor what is happening. You see, the Amotekun is like, unfortunately, most people don't know anything about Roman history any longer. They don't know anything about Latin. In Roman history, the scouts are like the present Nigerian army signal of army signals, like scouts. In those days, the scouts were the signals people. They will go about difficult areas, like spies to the bushes, look at where enemies are hiding, and report to the main body of the military. After that, they will go there and strike. That is what Amotekun is doing. No thief wants to be caught to. No thief wants it. But you have to strengthen the person trying to fish out where the thieves are. So Amotekun strengthen them. Give us more drones. And be more committed. Our people generally, one is afraid. What about the local content? What about the local content? Is it only the bandits now doing the damage? So when we talk, we say advising the Mr. President or Mr. Governor, is it only the bandits? What about the local contents? Our Yoruba people, some of them now in the business. So we should not blame Mr. President for this. That is not to say that he can't do better. He can still do better. He is the president. He is the president. It is. Things are not getting better, but it's not to blame. Not getting better in this sense that we are having more marauders, more bandits. The downward push to push us into the ocean, you should stop it. Governors also should stop it. So get Amotek to do better. Get the drones to spy where they're hiding so that they could be dealt with. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The words of elders. We've heard quite a lot from you today, and I'm sure that is enough for us to take home. And to our listener at home, you've heard a lot, especially when in the issue of security, it says you are to blame. We have a lot of informants among us. Thank you, Pa Basharu Saide Arugofa. Thank you for your time and for sharing your journey with us. And to our listener, conversations like this reminds us that leadership is not just about position. It's about responsibility, the impact you make, and of course, how you are being held into account. This program returns next week, but I won't go without thanking my producer, Engineer Femi Ayekomilogbon, the assistant, Obichukwemeka Oti, and of course, all the crew members who made this happen. My name is Remy Allen. Thank you so very much.
What does it truly mean to serve? Is leadership about power or about responsibility? Welcome to Your Stewardship, a compelling new radio program that shines the spotlight on individuals in positions of service and the impact they've made or are still making on the people they serve. From public officials to community leaders, from the health sector to education and beyond, we ask the tough questions. Have they been accountable? Have they delivered? Have they truly served? This is more than just a conversation. It is a moment of reflection, transparency, and truth. Join us as we explore real stories, real challenges, and real outcomes. Because stewardship is not just a title, it's a duty. Your stewardship, service, accountability, and impact.